Welcome to Secular Soup. Stay tuned for real talk about atheism, feminism, politics, parenting, and whatever the fuck else Amy and Amy want to talk about, because this is their show. And get ready for a whole lot of motherfucking profanity.
Want to hear a secret?
I won't tell anybody. Go ahead.
If I sit next to you, I'm going to get gonorrhea. It's going to jump into me. Just two ladies hanging out.
Is it okay for me to make fun of his neck waddle if I make fun of my own neck waddle?
I'm not sure.
That's a real ethical conundrum.
Would you know if you're born a lizard person, or can you be like adopted into?
I think you know.
We're such professionals.
We really are.
Buckle up, bitches. It's time to have some soup.
I'm Amy with an I.
And I'm Ocean.
Yay! I love it. With an O.
No.
Yay! I don't know. I feel like I nailed the intro. It's always.
Hey, we
always
didn't like
fine.
pre-plan it this time, so for not
Right.
pre-planning, we did pretty good.
Well, I'm not used to starting out either, so I'm like,
No.
I'm just gonna do it. So, yay! So Ocean is here this week.
A long time. No see.
It has been a while. Yeah,
so
'cause
let's talk
we-
about something happy this time, okay? Because goddamn, man, wow.
All right,
Oh,
let's talk
that's
about.
shit.
Let's
So,
talk about
talk-
terminal illness and puppies.
how the world's on
dying.
fire and we're all gonna
World's
die.
on fire. Let's talk about
Fine.
politics. That sounds really great.
Oh,
And yeah,
No, I don't know.
just let's just lean into the old chestnut of assault. Let's just
So
come on.
let's talk about how the fact that it's been quite some time since we've spent any time together in person
It's true.
and on the fly, like 2 weeks
On the show.
that, hey, you should come. Well, yeah, I bought a plane ticket.
And I was like, wow.
To Amy.
And you just like, I'm going to buy a plane ticket. Are you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm actually sure.
Like, you be sure, because we're looking at numbers, seeing if we can do this.
And then I went and picked you up at the airport, and it was so much fun.
Oh, my God.
Like, we had so much fun.
The risk... The risk to reward here of how awful
It could have been.
car ride one way could have been.
It could have been
Much
very
less
bad.
than
Yeah.
on the way back, right? So 20 hours total in the car, plus sharing a hotel room bed.
That's absolutely true. It could have been a nightmare.
It could have been awful, and it was like we'd been doing this together for years.
The only part that got hard was near the end, and I was just so tired.
Just exhausted,
And it wasn't
I'm
you
playing
at all.
music that I'm
And I was fine.
and you're passing out to
I
it.
was literally
That was
passing
over
out in the
there.
car, and you were like talking to me, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I want to listen, but I can't. My brain was shutting down. I was like, I can't even, and I kept crying. Basically, I was like, I don't want to drive anymore.
I kept like I had to stop talking. Like I'm losing my fucking voice.
You were losing your voice. I was
But
losing my mind.
I wanted to be quiet because yes, by the end it's like
I just
downtime.
did.
But
Just
my
did.
brain does not know how to be quiet sitting in a car.
It's totally fine. But we got back to the house, and we were just like,
it was fine. Oh, yeah.
oh.
And then I just vegged for a day and a half on your couch.
It was great, and I had to work, which was fine.
Yeah.
I just sit there and work.
I just made everything smell like skunk. That's all.
It didn't last long. It was literally gone the next day, pretty much.
Cool.
Like the next. I still have some around here.
Well,
The Oklahoma.
considering the rate that I go and the rate you don't go,
Yeah.
I would assume you did. I hope you're enjoying yourself though. 'Cause
I am actually
let me
going to
tell you
enjoy
what, I
myself
was
tonight.
Very impressed on the quality of stuff. I'm very impressed.
Well, yeah. I mean, Texas is a big state, so
No, but that's not what you have.
it's true.
Oh.
But the other one was.
Yes, the other one was.
Yeah. So
I have to admit that this second batch I was expecting to be worse. I mean, not to say that yours was bad. That came off the wrong way because that was good, and I was impressed that was good because Texas.
And Oklahoma.
I'm an ignorant cuss who lives in Colorado. Not an ignorant. I'm a snob when it comes to. No, I don't like the snob. I need to find a better phrase for that.
Connoisseur.
Connoisseur, yeah.
You're a flower
Because
connoisseur.
I'm not going to say no when somebody offers
absolutely
me
not.
such lovely, herb, because that there's a whole bunch of meaning behind offering herbs,
Absolutely,
regardless of its quality.
Absolutely.
And especially, you know, in some places, the worst quality, it probably means they don't come by it very much. They can't afford very good, and so they're really giving you a lot by giving you what they're giving you. So to be snobby about it is awful. But at the same time, let's be real about expectations, and I'm ignorant of those expectations.
Yeah.
Again, my main experience has been Colorado. I was spoiled. There's one of the words I was looking for earlier.
Absolutely.
And that all of my introduction to cannabis was through medical grade cannabis in Colorado. Homegrown, like people with some fine fertilizer, really nursing those babies.
And I do have a friend that does that up here, but we weren't able to get in touch with her because she was busy that weekend. But
life happens.
It does.
So, but you know, we had fun with that. It was a good time.
No, it was super fun.
And the drive wasn't that bad. I wasn't driving the drive home, and I
really liked the drive there.
Even coming back from Adepticon from Chicago, because JJ and I will drive from, you know, northern Colorado to Chicago in March, and it's like, oh my God, we just pushed through that the driving home, because it's like
the only part I had any kind of issues with was when he couldn't find canes, and I wanted to cry.
Oh my God! Well, no,
I wanted
out of fucking St. Louis before you try to find food.
God,
that was awful.
I was so sad. So the listeners obviously don't know.
But
they don't know. But there was like a Cane's right there on the corner, and I turned left, thinking that I could turn into the parking lot. But turning left took me onto a freeway. And suddenly I was on a freeway without Cane's, and I was
going away from the Cane's.
I'm pretty sure I started crying. I'm fairly certain I started crying then. That was because also it was just that we were also on the wrong road. We were turned around. I had just gotten gas, like just the stress, the stress level.
Glad that it was a Sunday in downtown St. Louis, Missouri, because if it hadn't been, that would have been. We wouldn't have been.
I would have cried harder.
Yeah, I don't think we would have tried to have found food there. I think.
No.
Note to self: when you're leaving town, just get outside of town.
That's probably a good idea anytime you're on a road trip. Don't try to get it right away. So the reason we wanted to do another show about Skepticon, not only is Skepticon like the best convention as far as like the atheist community goes, but I wanted to kind of talk to you about what it's like as a newbie.
Right.
Because all of us have been part of this community for so many years, and even though we're kind of newer to Skepticon, we're not new to the movement or the, you know, just the social network. But you are, like, this is a whole time, new to everything.
Yeah, and Skepticon's been going on for 15 years now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm getting over a stupid cold. The Dayquil hasn't fully kicked in to hopefully stop some of this coughing. But there are also those who may have gone years ago, and my very ignorant things have changed.
Absolutely,
there were some times that there were some issues. If my understand, and again, I'm just like, that's interesting, but I haven't delved into any of it.
It had growing pains, and it's coming on top.
Through growing pains.
And everybody that's running it now. Everybody that's running it now are like super amazing, very welcoming, warm, and just it's amazing.
And that's where I was going, is that having me talk about my experience as my first time at this carnation, if you will, of Skepticon and where they are now. There might be folks who haven't gone in a long time because of past experiences.
Absolutely.
Finding out things have changed might bring them back.
I hope so.
Never mind that there's so many people that I'm like, dude, you should go do this. How you don't.
Plus, if you go to Skepticon, Amy with a Y will probably fuck you.
If you're into that.
I mean, I'm just saying. Just lying.
And you're straight. It's
maybe. As long as there's
consent. As far as Amy's concerned, Amy.
True.
Amy seems to be very upset on being very advocate about being straight.
She was going to have the straight protest at the very queer prom. That's true. She and Rich were going to have their straight pride parade. Because literally they were the only ones, I think, at the entire convention that were straight.
And I'm still not so sure how straight Rich thinks he might be. If any of his partners aren't straight, that starts to question how straight your actual relationship is with your queer partner. My partner is mostly straight. Being in a relationship with me automatically puts you into this weird category. But then in the right place, I had a friend of mine go, he's like, I'm not bi, but if I found the right one,
Exactly.
I'm not saying I wouldn't. He just hasn't found the right one. And it's like, that's
I don't know if that falls into bi or it's more just pan.
And see, I have chosen to, I have difficulties with the whole bisexual.
I do too, because it's so like
I hate
divided
getting into these online things because nope.
Because I actually I haven't referred to myself as bisexual for years, because pan is more, it's broader and it covers more of what I got
really tired of so many new labels as an old person, because we're just going to admit that I'm old. You might not be. You were just really, really smart for your age. It just got to a point. My nibblings were having to explain
pan is just
labels to me, and so I'm like,
I'm loving the person
I don't
inside.
care what's in your pants. I like you, and that's it. And so for me in that space,
I care about what's in their pants because I want to be able to touch it.
Yeah.
That's all I care.
We'll figure out what pleases each other, but
that's all I want.
Needing one thing.
No, I don't have any preference.
And that's where there also becomes this fine line between, it's just a whole weird thing. And finding space to comfortably talk about this without automatic assumptions on people, not having the proper wording, phrasing things weird and awkwardly,
and no one would get mad at you there.
So ultimately, I really just came to the point of, I'm queer. I'm queer from the top of my head to the tip of my toes and inside and out. I am queer, because I'm taking back that label, because for me that just covers the whole damn gambit. And if you want to know more, let's talk. But it's so varied and there's so many layers here. And discovering ultimately I'm demisexual. I really don't care what you identify as in your gender. I'm more concerned about who you are as a person, how your brain works, and how that interactions with both of us goes.
Well, you know that about me too. Like we were like the old lady introverts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the geriatrics. We can get
fucking geriatrics.
We're gonna get t-shirts, man.
Because we look like we're like ready to party right up until 9 p.m. and then we're like, night.
Hey, yeah, but you know what? The next day,
we partied.
I didn't go to bed at like 3 a.m.
I didn't either. We were up.
I ended up partying by myself in the beautiful garden foyer outside, and I took stars. I had tea joints and music. So Rich and I are opposite sides of the hotel, messaging Spotify songs to each other. So I've got this just playing because there's nobody out there. So I'm actually playing the music on my phone out loud.
Might as well.
And I'm just smoking joints. And I'm buzzed off this glorious wine because I tried to get a cab and he's like, you really want a cab? And I'm like, yeah. And we talked a little bit and he's like, try this. And so I tried what he gave me and I wish I could remember what it was, but I don't. And it was glorious. It was a nice healthy portion too. So, I was nice and buzzed and then a little stoned. So, tripping back to bed later was great.
I was probably already asleep.
It was a good night.
Quietly snoring.
No, I think I got back to the room before everybody.
Because we were all down in the...
Yeah, because you guys were all down in the
hallway.
Not lobby.
The hallway, like the hallway of the lobby.
The hallway there between the hotel and the lobby. I mean, the restaurant.
We got kicked out. Yeah. Sort of.
Yeah, well, it's late, you're loud, you're obnoxious, it's a thing. And you got a whole bunch of, late, obnoxious people that are loud because you put a whole bunch of statistics in the same room and you all get weird. I sat down in that group for a little bit and listened to y'all, and Rich is over there in the corner, and I turned around and looked at it and went, I think I'm gonna go have a smoke.
Yeah.
It was a good time though. No, it was a great time. And St. Louis was great.
It was fun. So you did the impulsive, I'm buying a plane ticket, I'm going and doing this thing.
Yeah, which I've never done before in my entire life.
I've never like asked someone to do that. You know?
And it's one of those like, are you sure you mean this? Because we both live in a world where we all say these kind of things, and we all know it's never gonna fucking happen. So it doesn't matter if we really mean it or not.
For a split second, I was like,
buy
wait.
the plane ticket.
You know, there was a hesitation for a split second. I was like, wait, they're actually like, because you know, you say it, and then you're like, did I mean it?
Did I really mean it? Yeah.
And I did.
And it's valid. It's a valid
and I did.
process.
And then I was like, okay. And then you checked with me, and I was like, yeah, actually. And then you were like, but do I mean it? You know, basically. Because if I say no, then you have an out. And if you say no, then I have an out. So, so we did this.
At that point, all I had to do was show up.
Yeah.
You know, all I had to do was show up. So that was the nice thing. Because Skepticon itself does not cost to attend.
Nope.
So
and the room was already booked.
That made it very easy for me because I didn't have to worry about buying a ticket for the event. So I just had to worry about the plane ticket for myself. And then you didn't have to drive by yourself.
And then food was easy because there was food everywhere.
Well, there was food everywhere. And you and I discovered that we easily share a meal.
I don't eat a lot. You don't eat a lot.
And food's really fucking expensive.
Food is very expensive. But I eat I'll eat half a sandwich and I am golden. And so, yeah. So we just started getting club sandwiches and just splitting them and stuff. Easy.
Your special little drink there at the table. Diet
Coke. It was a Diet Coke this whole time. Just like this is a Dr. Pepper. This is absolutely a Dr. Pepper.
Just like, that was an herbal cigarette I was smoking out there.
Right. I do not usually drink my spicy drink at breakfast, though. That is not a typical.
But to be fair, it was lunchtime.
Well, by the time we got to breakfast.
By the time you guys got to breakfast.
It was lunch. I also don't sleep that much or sleep in that much, but I was so tired.
Oh God, girl, I was gonna let you sleep as long as you could, man. I was like,
that drive.
Never mind.
And it was so hot.
Life's been crazy,
and it's so
you don't have any responsibilities right now, so just fucking sleep.
Like you got here. Poor Ocean.
Oh, it was so hot. Oh my God.
Poor Ocean.
This is awful. Oh my God.
And that week,
I love you because oh my God, Texas
that week was miserable. Now it's like 80s now. It's in the 80s now. But literally, Ocean gets out of the car after picked him up at the airport, and you're like, oh my God. Because it wasn't just hot, it was humid, and you're just dripping sweat. Like, it's pointless to do your makeup. It's pointless to brush your hair. It's
in Colorado, it's a dry heat, which, people make jokes about, but dude.
Well, so's my
I at least dry.
Well, yeah, that's
I don't have moss growing in my armpit.
I do. I'm sure I do. That's why I call myself a swamp monster, because I'm pretty sure I'm just all swampy all the time. Just gross. It actually attracts all the men. It's like quicksand. They get stuck in it.
No, but I am finding myself driving around my town going, God, I got to show Amy. I don't think Amy would ever want to leave if I drove her around here. She would just love this place.
I would.
This is totally listening to you talk about the little niche of town where you live next to the big old metropolis of ickiness.
Yeah. Well, you saw it. It's a cute little place. I love it.
It's like, yeah, but mine's bigger, but just as cute.
Oh, I love it.
Not nearly as conservative.
Okay.
Conservatives live next door.
I met another atheist mom today, which was fun. Yeah, super fun. Well, I always love that.
Sundays at a play place is probably a good place too.
Well, my daughter wanted to go on Saturday. I was like, oh, no. Let's go on Sunday so we can avoid all the churchy people. And then I got it in my head for some reason, because I was trying to embarrass the 13-year-old girls, to go up. Oh, no, it's easy. All you have to do is go up to another mom and say, hello, fellow human female. And then they just look at you and you're like, I don't know about you, but I am nailing being human. And they laugh, you laugh, and then the kids are embarrassed and run away. So, nailing it. Yeah, I was nailing it. And then my daughter started flirting with a 16-year-old and called him scrumptious. I was like, time to go. Time to go. You do not flirt with a 16-year-old.
See, well, 3 years is no big deal when you're
now it is
13 to 16 right now, this time period. Yeah,
she asked me. She was like, is 13 too big of a gap? I was like, or 3 years too big of a gap? I was like, right now, yes. In 10 years, no. Not a big deal. But right now, absolutely yes. But she was like, he's scrumptious. I'm like, he literally just shoved over a kid. I saw him push over a kid. And she was like, but Mom, look at him. I was like, I get it. I approve. He is cute. But he just shoved over a kid. Don't call some guy scrumptious. It's time to go. So anyway, so we drove the 10-hour drive. It was delightful.
It was delightful.
We have the same taste in music. We sang along a bunch, and we talked a lot, and we covered a lot of things. You had to hear about my sordid love life. I cried. You had to hear about my sordid love life so many times. You were sick of it, I'm sure.
Names get lost in my head, and I just get used to it, and it's fine. It's fine.
It's so funny because you're just like, oh, Amy,
fair play.
Fair.
So there might come a time where
I'm sure.
do the same back to you. So,
that's fine. So then you get there, and what was your impression when you first? Well, I mean, when you first got there.
Okay, so we pull up at the valet spot.
Yeah.
Well, you go to check in for the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just sitting there in the car, and there's this guy walking up and down the sidewalk, slowly, casually, and I'm like, dude, that guy's cute. And I didn't quite grasp what was written on his t-shirt because I can't recall now at all, but I was like, that's a pretty nifty. I wonder if he's with Skepticon. I wonder if he's part of the folks that are here. Yeah, it was fucking Rich.
The 147th Rich?
Uh-huh. Yep, mm-hmm. Yep. Because then the next time I saw him, he's dragging luggage for,
No, the next time you saw him, he was coming with me up there, and you guys were saying I could move faster if I were taller. You said she would.
Waiting for the pig. The pig hasn't shown up yet.
She was. Oh, okay. I thought you said something along the lines of she could move faster. She wasn't so fucking short.
Yeah, that sounds like something I'd say.
And he was like, oh, and you're like, it's okay. I've known Amy for
It's allowed. Yeah, I'll beat your ass for you saying that, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's fair.
No. One of my favorite parts, though, is because I enjoy being a snarky, smart ass, but I typically miss the cues. It dawns on me 14 hours later when I'm trying to sleep.
You're like, fuck.
So it was great when everybody piled into the back of the car for us to go see Friends.
Mm-hmm. Friends is a stretch. It was John Willis.
And it was a weird pool party that I knew nothing about. Nobody told me. Are you aware that I had no idea that when we arrived in St. Louis, that we were then going not really across town, but to a different town.
Oh, well, they used to live right next door to to downtown.
To go swim in their pool and have pizza.
I forgot my swimsuit. So
I finally found mine when we got back to Texas.
Yeah.
But no, when everybody piled into the back seat of the car along with said pig and commented about how it smelled like weed, and I'm like, wait, somebody's smoking cannabis in this car? No, nobody's smoking. No. But I also found it funny. It's very interesting because I've been in Colorado for 16 years now, which is wild to me because I don't have those kind of experiences until now. So I was talking about Colorado a lot, and I'm used to certain things being certain ways. So when I asked if it was okay around everybody outside in the back porch, if I could roll a joint, everybody looked at me like I was a space alien. Like, why the fuck am I asking such a dumb question? Of course I can. And it's like, where I come from, it's just being polite.
That's funny. I do like your joint roller. That's cool.
But now I have a reason to hate what's his name. Because he hated me for living in Alaska and Hawaii. And the guy who owned the house, our host, names are failing. John, thank you. It was John.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everybody should hate John.
No. See, he started to hate me. Because I was able to actually one-up him on all the places I lived. Did you see where the fucker's on vacation right now?
Oh.
What he fucking swam with? Yeah, I hate him. Yep. I hate him.
See?
No. He wins the hate game now. He now wins.
We used to have a feud with him on Twitter when we did Twitter.
Oh my god. I'm so jelly.
When we had a podcast, and we used to have a feud with him. And the funny thing is he is the nicest person on the planet.
Oh my god, they were so sweet.
They're the sweetest people on the planet. But it's so fun to have some kind of dispute with them. it's just fun to
silly.
It's fun to fight with John because he's like literally the nicest human on the planet. Like I go over there and Don is like, "Would you like one alcohol?" I'm like, "I would like one alcohol, thank you."
Well, and as the introvert I am, and the weird autistic person with strange things, for being a surprise, we're going to somebody's house now. That is absolutely.
But we're all
want to go.
The weirdo autistic people,
randomly shoved into.
It's John and Don's house.
Party.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm sitting there poking with the fire. And they're all chill with it.
Nobody cared.
I would have stayed in the pool more, but there were too many cold buckets in the water, and I was just shivering. So,
you just have to pee.
But
just kidding.
But yeah, no, it was good. That was it for me.
I forgot to tell you that. You're right.
Yeah. That was
okay.
Hey, I am thankful. it past me, this trip never would have been. I would have never done it. Past me, and only in this healing space that I am now with myself do I even feel remotely confident that I can make this work, regardless. And my partner JJ has helped me find space to create that. Going to Adepticon for the last 2 years, I don't get a pass. I don't go to any of the classes or compete in any of the things. But it's a convention at a convention center, and there's people and tables and the vendors and everything. So I just participate on all the outside stuff while he gets a ticket, participates on the inside stuff. So it's one of those things. It's like, worst case scenario, I hate this and I just hang out at a hotel for a couple of days. I love hotels.
I do too.
I love hotels. I could sit here in the lobby and people watch all fucking day.
Me too. And that hotel lobby, you can watch the laser shows.
That lobby, oh my God. So yeah.
And it was gorgeous.
And I had no timetable. I had nobody to answer to.
Nope.
I'm just letting you know in the mornings I'm alive. I'm up. I'm doing this.
And I wake up.
Checking in.
You were gone. I would starfish.
I was like, yeah.
Like, okay. I'm good.
I'm good. Hit me up whenever. But I've never been in a place where that was okay. Where it was normal. I was my own boss.
And everybody is just okay with everybody doing whatever they want.
So I'm down there. I am like I'm one of the first people that actually are there at Skepticon when the doors open. Because I wake up early. I don't sleep.
I typically do, honestly, because I start work at 7 in the morning. Yeah.
6 hours of sleep is normal for me. 8, I'm tickled. So, And so Skepticon it's not quite 9 o'clock yet. I've gotten my coffee. Yeah. I've walked around a little bit. And so, it's like, asking somebody at the table, I hadn't even looked at my watch. I didn't even know what time it was. I was like, so when does this even open? They're like, 9 o'clock. I work on my watch. It's a minute to 9. Cool.
You're like, okay.
So, I'll check in. This is how Lois over in the background overhears me mentioning that it's my first time. So, of course, she pulls me aside later to chat with me. But I'm one of those folks.
Lois is the sweetest.
I pop around. I'll find a table or something to sit down at, and as I'm sitting there and I'm surveying my area, I'll be like, "Oh, that spot over there would be better." And past me wouldn't move because somebody might be watching me. Somebody's gonna judge me for whatever, right?
Yeah.
There's this stupid voice in my head.
Nobody cares, though.
Nobody fucking... No, I got up and moved, and then I went into the thing, and then I thought, and then there was a couple of times I thought I saw you walking across the balcony, and I'm like, ah! And nope, it wasn't you. It was somebody short enough with somebody else. I have no idea what I thought I saw. but and I'm like looking around going, well, that looked really dumb. Nobody cares.
Everybody that goes to that convention is
smiling. I'm getting that smile and nod thing when people walk by, or just not at all because we don't care. I mean, we don't care. It's not important. Those social norms that we've been ingrained into us as what's required and respectful and
it's so refreshing.
Oh my God. Well, Rich and I were talking about it later, and he's much less neurodivergent than some of us in certain areas, and he's worried that everybody was on their phones a lot, and I'm like,
I was,
but everybody was interacting with
because of the ADHD.
The number of times in every place that I went, and that I heard somebody go, "That's a really good question. We're all paying attention."
Mm-hmm.
And we all know we're paying attention.
Because that's how I watch TV too. I color on my phone as I watch TV because I can't focus on one thing. It's literally impossible for me to focus on one thing at a time.
Well, and if I don't have something mundane to do, I will get too busy paying attention to everything else in the room and then not be able to pay attention to what is the reason why I'm here in the first place.
Well, that's why I listen to books, or when you're visiting, I listen to you as I work. And my job requires a lot of brain, but I can listen also, and I need that. I need to have the double, like,
the multitasking.
So the multi-stimulation. I remember when I was a kid, my mom used to yell at me for, not yell at me, but she'd be like, turn off your music when you're doing your homework. I'm like, no. I have to have my music when I'm doing my homework. And she always came in my room and turned it off. And as an adult, I'm like, I need my music. I even have a study playlist that I play when I'm in college, which I'm not in this semester because I was waitlisted. Whatever.
Boo! Because I hadn't heard the update on that. Last I heard, you were waiting and you were afraid that might happen.
I was waitlisted. They gave me one class that was Monday, Wednesday, Friday in Denton at 8 a.m.
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
I work full time. How am I supposed? I can't sit in. It was like an upper level finance class too, which would be super interesting in person. So, yeah. So I'm just gonna, whatever.
Sorry, I have a degree in English. That does not sound exciting.
My degrees are things.
Do numbers turn you on, Amy?
No. Unless it's on a check addressed to me.
Addressed to you, yes.
It's I get very excited about that. That's very exciting. It's stimulating. But no, numbers do not turn me on. I just have a lot of degrees in stupid things, which Amy always is surprised by. It's so funny. She's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that." It's like
it's like
I'm really good at playing the fool.
I just had this thought. Does Amy just forget that you're smart?
No, she just forgets that. No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm good at playing kind of like the fool.
But it's that thing of, geeks and nerds do numbers. I mean, really smart people can do the sciencey things. And so it's like, you just don't think Amy has, the what to be a geeky, science, mathy person.
Well, yeah, my degrees are in science.
You belie
my degrees are in science, and I'm working on a degree in finance. And yeah, so it's like, but she's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It's not like it's a thing that we talk about. The only reason why I know even a little bit more than that is because I sat in your living room for a day now.
Well, yes, you did sit in my living room. Well, you also saw what I do.
Which is your quasi office. So
it is my office. I love my desk so much. I love my desk setup so much.
Oh no, it's very great.
I love it so much, and then I have the windows.
I miss your little clock. I miss your clock.
With my weather frog.
You love your little weather frog. He's so cute.
If I get more, we'll try to get some more Google credits. I will try to get you one, because it is the funnest thing on the planet.
So here's the thing about Skepticon.
Tell me everything. I want to hear all the things.
So before Skepticon, I was camping. It was a smaller group of my local folks, because when I go camping, I typically go with my partner and the community that he helps facilitate in our area. And I typically spend a lot of time alone, kept away from the chaos.
That's what I do. That sounds about right.
Because I like the outdoors. I like camping. I don't like a lot of people, so y'all stay over there, and it's great. But I found myself, this camping trip, we went to a brand new place, which was beautiful. It was right on the river, so I slept really, really well.
Because of the noise?
Oh my God. I had no idea how much I'd missed the sound of running water.
Yeah.
Live running water.
Mm-hmm.
However, due to an incessant amount of rain that we've received this past season, the mosquitoes were insane.
Oh yeah, and I have mosquito bites on my neck right now from.
And so
here.
Something in the past, mosquitoes are a nuisance, but I can put on, even lightweight mosquito spray. It's no big deal. I'll get a couple of bites, whatever. Oh my God, something has changed with the chemistry of my blood, of my scent, of whatever. It was like an Alfred Hitchcock movie. I had to hide in my tent the entire time. Because as soon as the weather got warm enough for them to be able to move, they found me.
Oh my God.
I would be in my tent. Now, mind you, I'm in my tent. Everything's zipped up. I got the windows open, but it's the screens, and you just see them swarming on all four sides.
Jeez.
Fuck? Because keep in mind, I'm not camping alone. There are 4 or 5 bodies outside over there that they could be munching on.
Nope, not them.
But
they made their choice.
Screen. They're attacking the screens, trying to get to whatever they're smelling off of me. It was awful, but it allowed me to spend a lot of time by myself, which I had planned on spending a lot of time.
You were already talking about that.
But I was hoping to do that around the fire, getting a little drunk, drinking with some friends and semi-socializing. But no, that didn't happen. But I had some sad thought at one point as the trip progressed, and I looked down in one direction and I was like, "Those aren't my people." Well, and there's this old school core group of my community here that will always be my people.
Absolutely.
But as things change, new people come in, old people go. Certain crowds, they're not my jive. I've also finding that, and again, talking about healing without sounding better than.
Yeah.
When you get to a certain point in your healing process, the space for those that aren't there or working actively, because life is a bitch and they're struggling with just life. I don't have patience for this anymore. This is stress for me. This is undue. I don't know why I understand why they're doing these things to themselves, but there's also that part of it's going, I don't understand why you're doing this to yourself, because this just seems, it's just like, these aren't my people. These folks here in these spaces like this isn't mine. And I've been slowly stepping away from for years now. Yeah. I initially stepped away from the pagan community, actively attending rituals and meetings and stuff, because my energy I felt was negative as I was in my early stages of healing, and things were icky. And those intrusive negative thoughts that were definitely put upon me through my mother, through the Mormon church, about these kind of circles and these things. It's like, I don't need to be feeding this type of energy into these circles, because I respect what is trying to be done here. Yeah. And I absolutely believe you bring the energy you bring.
I agree.
And those that are sensitive will feel it. And in those spaces, I don't want to be the one bringing that kind of energy. So I stepped away, which was good for me, because it taught me to slowly learn that I don't need a fucking excuse to not go to church on Sunday.
Do you remember that? Making excuses?
I'm making excuses.
I used to make excuses.
I'm making excuses to JJ because I don't want to go to the pagan circle meetup on Sunday evening.
He doesn't
and have
care.
The potluck in the meeting. I'm coming up with excuses he doesn't. It's not important.
It's not like Mormon.
They're happy to see me. They're happy to see me when I show up. There was a time I hadn't showed up for like a year and a half, and I walk in the door with JJ because we just started dating, and the main leader, she's like, oh my God. But at the same time, after my mother died, the first full moon, I was home alone. I think JJ was out of town, something. I was by myself, and I was very sad. And I just chose to go to the fireside for the full moon, to be with people that would at least hold space for me as I was dealing with the passing of my mother. So this is a very pivotal community for me, but I don't want to be a leader in it. I don't want to, actively. I will advertise for them. I will do my Gaia's Hearth as vending for their festival that they do for Untamed, the camping festival they do, and Pagan Pride here in Fort Collins, and all these things. Absolutely. And people who are looking for like-minded individuals and trying to find the path, because it's an eclectic group of pagans. So this isn't a religion, but it's not.
It's ingrained in you to make an excuse, though.
Yeah. And so I finally stepped away from that. Yeah. And so it's like Sundays are just another day of the week now, which is really weird.
I used to do that. I used to make an excuse on Facebook when I couldn't go to church with my kids. And it's absurd. Like, I don't go because I don't want to go. I don't need a reason.
And for a long time, even when I was not going, and when I was first had my name removed from records, I wouldn't do anything on Sunday. I still wouldn't go shop. I still wouldn't go out to the restaurant. I still wouldn't I wouldn't do any of the things. I'd stay home.
Yeah, because it's
So
part
yeah,
of
it was
you.
just a lot of that. But so the pagan community here has been a huge help for me in my stepping stones of becoming
Absolutely.
who I am today. But those things that they give to the community no longer feeds me in the way that I need to be fed. In
Which
the way
is
that
fair.
and in a way that I think, and in the way I would like to try to give back to community, because oh my God, if there were a couple of keywords, one of the biggest keywords of Skepticon this year was community. And I came back talking to my partner JJ about community left, right, and center, because now I can hash with him, because he is very heavily steeped in the pagan community and running big events. Denver's Witches Ball, and Fort Collins Pagan Pride, and the Untamed Festival weekend, long weekend, Big Trip Festival we do. And so he's very interested in some of the groups that I discovered while I was out in Skepticon. So there was a lot of talk about that. But the last night we were there at Skeptiprom, I'm standing in line to get my drink, because I finally caved out, because showed up late because my body's being dumb, but goddamn, we're gonna party, so stop being dumb, you stupid body.
You didn't feel well.
Trauma's a bitch. It's all psychosomatic though. All psychosomatic. So because when I got down there, it was good. But I got to stand in line and talk to Lois, and Lois, if I understand, is she the president? She's the head honcho for Skepticon, or is she just in the head?
She's up there. Yeah. She's pretty
up
great.
There.
Yeah.
So we were chatting a little bit.
She's amazing.
I found my people. And so I told her the story about walking through life and falling into a hole. And I kind of did it really fast, a little truncated version. And when I got to the end, she's looking at me. She's like, I got goosebumps. Because I told her, it's like, I don't know how, I don't know what, but I want to be a speaker. I want to sit on a panel. And I finally, I can't wait for somebody to just magically pull my name out of their hat and go, hey, they should do a thing. So I finally reached out to her the other day. And it was like, so I got these really weird things that make me quasi qualified to maybe help what I don't know.
The vendor table, if you want to do that, there's all kinds of stuff.
And so and it's like, well, in that I'm the first name on the list for Lois for vendors. It's actually the reason why she started making the list for next year. Because I'm like, I want in on this. But now I got to come with $200 to pay for my table.
I mean,
but
you're also part of the show.
And the other thing is, I was like, even if it's just,
because Amy and I have already talked about it, the show can pay for it.
Well, and JJ, we're not talking about it. And it's like, even if we paid for it ourselves, it's going to a good cause.
Absolutely, it is.
That's going to Skepticon, and those fees is going back into Skepticon.
I literally called Amy and said, Ocean should do a vendor, and Amy was like, we should cover it. I was like, yup.
That would be great.
I had a whole phone conversation.
I'm seriously considering, with vendoring and stuff and everything else, driving out there. So maybe you want to fly out here and we'll try that.
Maybe we'll see.
We'll see how adventure. But either way, I'm probably going to drive just so that
I don't know where I'm going to be next year. I don't know what my life's going to look like. I might,
Well, and right now we don't even have dates because they're talking about changing the dates. So
why? Well, August is hard.
Yeah, and it's hot.
School started while I was in Skepticon. So if I had the kids that week,
you wouldn't have been able.
I wouldn't have been able to go because school started that Wednesday, the next Wednesday, immediately. So maybe I would have been able to do it, but it would have been a tight turnaround. So it's hard.
But yeah, no. What I found at Skepticon was my people. I still, to this day,
amazing.
So I'm walking around this past camping trip, and if anybody had been looking at me as I'm walking down the road thinking to myself, and I suddenly got this weird look on my face and I'm grinning and half talking to myself, I'm recalling something that happened at the hotel or some converse. It's something about that whole trip. It's been like a month now.
It was so good.
I'm still doing it. And it's like,
that's how I was the first time I went. I was like, this is amazing.
I just got done scrolling through the pictures again on Facebook. And it's like, this makes me smile and giddy every time I see these pictures. to just be around a group of people that roll with it. There's no judgment here, and to be able to have some visuals, banners of like, hey, please talk to me, but I don't know how to talk to you, versus please don't approach me at all, versus I'm still in the closet, don't take pictures of me. The very broad, acknowledging just, the autisticness of all of us.
I just loved it.
Divergency and our
and then there's
our attention deficits of all its varieties and flavors, and our queerness on top of it.
Absolutely.
Because Skeptiprom is also quasi-queer prom.
Super queer.
Because,
because not everybody got to go to their prom.
Prom was weird, man.
Prom was hard.
Prom was weird.
Prom was hard.
Prom was hard.
Yeah. So then there's Amy and I fighting, and everybody loves it because we put on a show. Because we don't mean it. Like we don't actually mean it, but we sit there and we fight the whole time, and people are like very, very entertained by our fights.
Well, and those who don't know, they're like, "What's happening?"
I know.
And I was like, "Oh,
it's very fun.
It's fine."
It's very. She will literally text me sometimes like, "Hey, bitch, I'm gonna fight with you at breakfast." I'm like, "All right, bring it. I'm gonna make you look like a sucker." we also pick fights on Facebook.
Yep.
We always do that.
I just choose to react in different flavors.
So that's we've decided that we
become,
just
or I may or may not have misread what Amy had written originally, and so then I just go through all the pictures and go, "Look, Amy, you're in this one, and look, Amy, you're in this one," because I thought I read somewhere that she was bitching that she wasn't in any of the pictures, and I think I misread it.
I don't think so. I think that's what she said, isn't it?
It might have been, but either way, she was laughing as she's reacting at every comment I make in pictures, where just even the little bit of, there's your hand, Amy, your hand's right. No, it's given me space to be weird and goofy in these.
Yeah, because
everybody
rolls with it.
Snarky shit voice in my head that doesn't mean it, and I know it doesn't mean it,
and most people don't.
But I get really tired of telling other people that we don't mean it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And so, it did take me a while to be like, but at the same time, no, if there is anybody that I want at my back, it would be the two of you. Yeah.
Oh, we would destroy them.
It's like, oh yeah, no. This is all play. You fuck with either one of these women, and the other will destroy you so fast. Oh my God, no.
And with me, no one will see it coming.
Mm-mm. Literally.
No, honestly, because I'm super tiny. I look very friendly, and I am not. I'm just not.
I'm not a cop.
Oh, I told him that, didn't I? I did tell him.
No. And this is the stories that I get to tell, my local Colorado friends, and I'm just laughing. And I have to set the stage, though, because they don't fully understand, and they won't until they meet you. As much as I try to describe it.
You're like, no, you don't understand. She's very short, and she's very curvy. And she has so much red hair.
Red hair. Oh my God.
And she's got this, just nice face. Like she just looks like she's a nice person. And she walks in and she's like, "I'm not a cop. It's okay." Dude, I did say that. You're right.
For days.
I did say that. And you're like, "I'm from Colorado, so
white girls come walking in here."
Oh my gosh, that was funny. I forgot I'd said that. That sounds like me.
You got to witness this. What happens when I'm in other states and mention that I'm in Colorado? Do you know what happens when I walk into a bar in Utah?
Mm-mm.
And I'm like, because I don't know how to. I don't know what beer to order, right?
Oh, I just tell them whatever looks like motor oil, the stoutiest stout.
Yeah, I know what to order for you, but for me, it's like, so I have to go in there and be like, so look, I live in Fort Collins, Colorado, and first off, that right there. If they're a good bartender worth anything, they're automatically jealous because they live in fucking Utah.
Well, that's true because you have all the breweries.
Fort Collins is like the microbrewery capital of, this area.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because DFW is too for out here. Like, there's so much shit here.
But I'll go in there and I'll be like, look, this is where I'm from. I like wheat beers. What do you got?
Wheat beers.
And so, it's that same kind of flavor that we did in Oklahoma. It's like, look, man, I'm from here.
You have to tell the people in Utah that you're not a cop.
No, but I couldn't take my nibblings with me to go have lunch. There's the Black Sheep bar, which was around the corner from where my sister lived in West Jordan, Utah.
Yeah.
Back in the day. And they've got really good food, really good burgers, really good fries. I couldn't bring my nibblings for lunch because it's a sports bar. It's a bar. It's a bar in Utah. Children aren't allowed in bars in Utah.
They're not?
They're not.
Children are always in bars here.
I couldn't take them to have lunch with me at the Black Sheep. I would have to go to the Black Sheep and get food to go and bring it home. And so, yeah, and I'm like, this is so foreign to me because families have birthday parties for their children at Pitchers.
Yep.
The local bar down the road from me with its own microbrews of its own, you know. So it's like, yeah, after like 8 o'clock, there's a bouncer at the door and they start carding people. And by 9 o'clock, after 9 o'clock, they don't let anybody under the age of 21 in. They start carding up.
They do that at arcade places here too. Like all day it's here. All day the kids.
Until 9 o'clock at night, you know, people are allowed to come and have a meal. They're having dinner.
People were walking around with beers. I went to a trampoline place with my daughter and her friend today. And there were parents walking around with beers. I was like, smart.
So that was something that was interesting at Skepticon in St. Louis. Again, another one of these weird things of Colorado, living in Colorado versus other places. So Denver International Airport is very proud to state that they are now a completely 100% smoke-free area. You can only smoke outside the building. There's nowhere inside anymore, not even the old cigar lounge they used to have. In Fort Collins, in Old Town, you can't smoke outside at all within a certain blocks of there's a certain corn-off area. And so when I get to St. Louis, and the first morning I'm there, I'm walking around, and finally, because I have reached this new phase of myself of, we're just going to fucking ask. So I go up to the front desk, and I'm like, so is there a place that I can go smoke? And she's looking at me like I'm an alien, because she really wants to tell me, yeah, outside. Because ultimately that was the answer, and I really did just say it back there. So really just outside anywhere. So where's the nearest exit was my final question. Like, can you point me to an exit?
Yeah.
She walked me to one right there. It was great. But it was like, oh, there's butt cans, like all of
Makes sense.
There's no way. Here, where I would go outside of the lobby and smoke out there, there's not enough room between the door into the building and where everybody smokes to be able to legally smoke outside here.
Wild.
Yeah. So that was why it was like, this is different. And again, I'm not a smoker.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm so glad I don't have that addictive gene. So it's like I've casually smoked cigarettes here and there all the time, but it's never been a routine thing for me to find a place to go smoke. But my medicine now requires me to need to be able to smoke the medicine. So it's like, I need to know where these places are now. And yeah, she totally looked at me like I was fucking insane outside. Like, I don't know if she thought I was asking if there was an indoor lounge somewhere I could toke. I don't know.
So,
but yeah, so
what
that's
is
when I decided to take a whole trip around the building pretty much to get a better idea of the
outside. And there's lots of really cool places. There's little nooks.
Well, when I find a nice little spot away from everybody, makes me probably look like the little homeless dude who's lost, but whatever, because people are going to leave me alone.
So what's your overall takeaway of Skepticon as the new person?
If you're anywhere near St. Louis during Skepticon, fucking go.
Yep, exactly.
If the atheist thing appeals to you, if the skeptic anything, science, you want to talk about skulls? Let's talk about fucking skulls.
Oh my god, that class was so fun.
Oh my god, that was so great. And it's like, because just being at the group of people, of intellectual people who
just the queer
appreciates those weird little niches of things that we love, which a lot of it, I'm going to make a very base assumption, comes from our very extreme neurodivergency and the things that we latched onto that we love to share. And info dump on people, but
Absolutely.
these are the people that want to be info dumped on about what your favorite thing and flavor is of the day, of the year, of your career.
Mhm.
I mean, you
Yeah.
know, let's talk about dinosaurs. I had a hard time as a kid wrapping my head around dinosaurs and Mormonism.
Yeah.
I truly believed for a while there that it was a hoax. that people are just sticking these things in the ground, and
Well,
how do you know that's how the bones are supposed to fit together?
I heard a theory once that when the Earth was created,
for the child mind, these are logical questions to be asking. But I was asking these questions as, you know, a teenager.
Yeah.
And a teenager should have a better understanding to not be asking those basic
well,
questions.
I heard a theory once that when they built the Earth, things were grabbed from other planets, and one of those planets had dinosaurs on it. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And so that was what I just wrote it off as.
JJ totally laughed his ass off. Did you know about the Quakers on the moon?
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah.
I shared that with George. Oh, and there's also the ones on the sun.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, JJ didn't know about that one. About those two.
Mormons thought that. Joseph Smith said that.
I was sharing those gifts, Brigham Young as well, with him.
Yeah.
And
these are the intellectual powerhouses that started the religion that we grew up in. So, well, it's about that time to wrap up. That's why I wanted final thoughts are, if you're close to St. Louis, fucking go.
Absolutely. And I absolutely plan on going next year. JJ and I are already working on,
I'm excited.
And I'm already in the process of updating all my Gaia Hearth logos and stuff for better things. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Well, awesome.
I'm excited. And who knows? I'll be speaking. I'll be on a panel. People get tired of this face. I don't know. I'll be vending all day.
So, yay. I'm going to be a fucking geriatric and just be in bed.
It'll be fine. I'll be a geriatric after vending all day.
Absolutely.
Bring me wine.
I wish I could drink wine more.
My gut appreciates the red wine. I have found that the red wine is the best time for me. Otherwise, not so much. But
I'm allergic to sulfites, so it doesn't really roll.
No, not so much.
So, yeah. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up. You can stay during the end or not. It doesn't matter. So it's always great talking to Ocean.
Yay.
Bye.
Aloha.
Thanks to all of you motherfuckers who put up with the Amy's droning on week after week. If you enjoy their delightful bitchcraft, please follow them on all of the social medias and send them all of your money on Patreon or PayPal. You can find them on these platforms by using the Google machine. It's not hard. If you want to bitch with other fans about the show, join the Secret Soup Talk Facebook group. If you want to tell Amy and Amy to fuck off personally, you can send an email to secularsouppodcast@gmail.com, although it may go unanswered. Please rate and review the show on iTunes, Facebook, and wherever else you can review things like this. It will help spread the soup gospel far and wide. And hey, text someone right now. Tell your friends. As always, we'll leave you with the vocal stylings of Mr. Eli Bosnick.
Secular soup creed. Soup is the ultimate virtue. It's delicious, nutritious, patriarchy smashing, racism fighting, warm and fuzzy, human affirming, fun having, anti-theist, glitter throwing, tummy satisfying, pair of new shoes fulfilling, diversity seeking, happiness. Minestrone, beef and barley, chicken broth and split pea, gazpacho, tomato, clam chowder and potato, chicken noodle, beef noodle, egg drop and ramen cup, miso, gumbo, leek and pho. Grab a bowl and taste the magic. Slurp even this.